what social media is. And the definition of social media is websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. I mean, most people in here should know what social media is. That's just the definition of it. And like your big social media pages that most people know of is Twitter, maybe not Facebook as much anymore, but Instagram and TikTok, those are the big things these days. So now we're going to talk about the dangers of social media. And everyone knows social media has inappropriate content on it. You just got to know what sites you're on and what's not good to be on. Uh, in my opinion, so if you're going to use social media, it's not good to use with younger kids in a classroom if you plan on ever using it there. If kids go to the wrong page, they could be cyberbullied if they're not careful. That's why you should never trust anyone on these pages. And we all have personal information. You should know not to give that to someone you don't know. All right. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about first was ways teachers can use it in education. And when I was doing some research on it, I saw that there's pages that can help, like especially teachers just starting out with maybe creating a lesson plan. I saw some accounts where there was PowerPoints you could probably use to help you out when you're starting off. Just all kinds of stuff like pages just you could use, and I thought that was cool. Now ways students can use it. I remember when I was in school, there was a page I would go to where someone would go live and it could help you out with your homework. Like I think those kind of stuff are cool, and it's just like it being this year now, it's cool that we can go to a website and it can help us out if it's like a good one, someone you can trust. But you just have to be careful on these sites because you could have personal information and you don't want someone getting a hold of your personal information. So, okay, so now we're gonna get into using it in a classroom. So ways I was thinking you could use it in a classroom is like make a social media page for your class. And you can have something like class announcements on here, post before the week starts, post what you could be going on in the week, like test, work, what lessons you'll be going over. Every Friday, make sure you wish your kids an enjoyable weekend because end of the day, they're kids and you don't want them doing something stupid. And other ways to use it. So I'm an inspiring history teacher. So I thought this would be cool. And I'll get into it on the next slide of a project you could do with it, but you could also use it for projects. To me, I think it works really good with history, but it could also work for career classes in any other class. But I'll get into why I think it can work for history so good on this next slide. Okay. So like what I was thinking, maybe have a little project where say you're going over as Revolutionary War, we'll say that. And you can have your students at the start of the semester, or not, you could do it with anything. Just say you're doing a US history, have a student create like their name and make them like some type of reporter. And like every week you can have your students maybe post a report of what you're learning about in class on their page. And at the end of the week, you go back and check it. I think it's a fun and easy way for them to get a good grade if they do the work. But you got to have rules. End of the day, if you're going to use social media, no cyberbullying at all. You don't want any inappropriate things popping up on your class pages. No copywriting, obviously. If you have them create accounts, particularly for your page, don't let them post anything on any other stuff like outside of your classroom, and obviously no inappropriate posts. So in conclusion, you have to be smart. These are kids. You're gonna have to monitor them, make sure they're doing the right thing. You got to protect them because at the end of the day, they're on your page. You got to protect your students. If it gets out of hand, you got to cut it off. You don't want any issues with parents or any legal stuff happening because it got out of hand. I think it's easy. It's fun. It's fun. It can be an easy grade. But make sure your students respect everyone while they're on the class page. And you can use social media in the classroom. You just have to be smart while using it. And these are the sources I use to help me out with this. And that is all.
Thanks, Caleb. Good job on the pros and cons. Do we have any questions for Caleb?